And that's how I started doing the channel, the DaVinci Resolve tutorials. I was not an expert when I started to try and get better. What up, folks? It's Alex here. Hope you're all good. Completely random video today. Gyms are open, so I can go to the gym. So I'm having a post-workout shake as I stand here and just chill out for a bit. And it got me thinking, why not just turn the camera on and start having a bit of a chat? Do a bit of a talking head video. Just talk to you guys about how I started this channel. How I got started with MrAlexTech and how I got started with DaVinci Resolve. Because it's probably not what you expect. I quite often get a comment that just says, hey, Al. No one says, hey, Al. I sometimes get comments that just ask me how I got started, how long I've been doing it, how I figure things out, what's the best way to start, da-da-da-da-da-da. So I wanted to just backtrack and talk to you about how it all happened and how we got here. So long story short, a few years ago, I had this channel and I was just talking about cameras and lenses and photography stuff. And then I wanted to improve my videography skills and my editing skills. So I picked up DaVinci Resolve and started editing with that. I was looking around on YouTube. There were some tutorials. Casey Farris was doing tutorials even way back then, a few years ago. So I watched a few of his, da-da-da-da-da. And then I basically decided to give myself homework. So I wanted to get better at DaVinci Resolve. So what I decided to do was each week give myself a task of learning something new on my own. Just sit there, read the manual, tinker, experiment with DaVinci Resolve, and then do a video showing what I've learned. And that was 5 Minute Friday. So I didn't start 5 Minute Friday so I could go, hey, I'm going to instill the knowledge and the skills that I have developed over all these years with you guys. No, what I decided to do was each week I'd learn something new, which I thought would benefit me and also benefit others. And then I'd create a video showing what I've learned and how to do it. Because I figured it'd be good for people to learn sort of at a similar pace. So that's what I did. And that's how I started doing the channel, the DaVinci Resolve tutorials. I was not an expert when I started to try and get better. And I think that's really, really important because the mindset of people in today's world, I think, is that you can't share, you can't create a YouTube video or you can't help others or teach unless you're the best of the best, unless you're an absolute expert and you're awesome and then, oh, look, I've done this thing for 10 years, now I can start teaching people. I don't believe that's true. I think most people, regardless of what sort of level you're at, you've got something which you can teach to someone else, someone that's on the same journey that you were on. You can instill some information, you can give them something which will help them on that journey. If you're trying to edit, you're trying to become an editor, you're trying to learn DaVinci Resolve, maybe you're trying to become a YouTuber, whatever it may be, if you don't think you're good enough to start sharing, then just start sharing anyway, because that doesn't make any sense. You don't have to be at a certain level to start sharing. Share your journey. People are really interested in seeing you as an individual progress as much as they are seeing someone amazing do the amazing thing that they're doing. If you're passionate about something and you want to start talking about it, you want to share it with the world, just start doing it. As long as you're honest with people, then they will be welcoming to you and they will help you along the journey and they will be appreciative of what you're doing. Now, when I say you've got to be honest, if you've just started learning Photoshop, for example, don't create a video saying an expert gives you advice on Photoshop. Obviously, just do a video that says, here's what I've learned. There might be other ways to do it. This works for me. This is what we're doing. This is how I've done it. Job done. People might learn from it. People may really like it and you may end up on a path that I've done. I always try and be honest in the videos and say, this is how I've done this thing. Are there better ways? Probably, especially if you're looking in Fusion, because there's a million ways to do anything in Fusion. But I say, this is what I've done. This is how I've done it. This is how I think it works well. There you go. And if someone comments in the comments that says, actually, you can save 3 steps by doing this, I go, amazing. I'll pin the comment and then I might try and mention it in a future video as well because it helps everyone out. So now I know I'm talking about my own path with DaVinci Resolve, but it applies to anything. If you're trying to become a vlogger and you don't think your vlogs are good enough, you're not at a Peter McKinnon level, it doesn't matter. Just share, you'll learn from it, maybe other people will enjoy it and they'll learn from it as well, and then everyone can grow together. Now, it is scary though. It's scary to put yourself out there. If I'm honest, when I first started doing my DaVinci Resolve tutorials, I didn't want to tell everyone that's what I was doing because I thought it was a bad thing. And actually, it's not. And if I went back and did it again, I'd say to everyone from the get-go, I'm learning these things. We're going to learn them together. If you've got any questions, shout out. And if I've got any questions, I'll put them in the comments and we can all learn and develop together because I think that's a much better way of doing things. So yes, it's scary, but try it and see what happens. Now, part of the reason I wanted to say all this was because I've been listening to a book. When I say listening, it's because I use Audible. It's not a sponsored post or anything like that. I just use Audible because it's really nice when I'm at work. I can listen to books. And there's a trilogy of books that's called the Steal Like an Artist audio trilogy, and it's by Austin Kleon. And one of the books in that series is called Show Your Work. And he talks about exactly this. He talks about showing your progress. So show your work. You don't need to be the best at the thing you're trying to learn before you start showing it. People like to see the journey. People like to see your work. They like to see you figuring things out. And I've done this from the beginning, but I never really had it click. I never thought too much about what I was doing. But I started listening to this book. It was really nice to hear someone affirming what I'd already been doing without sort of realizing I was doing it. I was showing my work. I was showing how I was learning and how I was progressing to get somewhere. And I think that's why maybe people have enjoyed this channel, because I'm just a little bit ahead than some people. I'm not a massive whiz kid expert superhero editor. I'm just 5 or 10% ahead of someone that started 6 months ago. Sometimes the journey is more important than getting to the final location. Share the journey. Don't just wait until you're there. So that's it for this one. I just wanted to talk to you. Now, I've never made one of these videos before where I'm just talking about my opinion. So let me know if you like it. Give me a thumbs up. Let me know in the comments what you think. Because, well, if you liked it, I might do more. I had fun. This is nice. Just chatting. I had no script. This is me just talking. Thanks for watching. Bye.